Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the channel, or welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I got a super fun one. We're going to be going over some of the most affordable areas here in Albuquerque, New Mexico, going through a Google Maps tour, the MLS, and making sure that you guys fully understand some of these areas. And one of these areas is going to be the ones that you least expect. So grab your pen and your pad and let's go. Where else in the United States can you go to afford a house in a metro area for under $300,000? Well, Albuquerque is one of those cities that you can still afford a pretty decent house in some good areas. So in today's video, guys, we're going to be going over that. Exactly what areas, price points, to really give you the details behind these different areas to make sure that you're making the right decisions before you plan on moving down here in 2024. And if this is your first time tuning into the Living in Albuquerque channel, do yourself a huge favor and hit that subscribe and notification bell down at the bottom. That way you guys are never missing out on any videos, because I am dropping videos every week talking about what our beautiful city of Albuquerque and surrounding cities have to offer. Now, aside from doing these videos, guys, I gotta be honest with you, I am a licensed broker here in the state of New Mexico. And as much as I love doing these videos, I would love to help you out with your real estate needs. So if you are planning on moving down here within the next 30, 60, or 90 days, me and my team would love to hop on a quick video call to make sure that you're getting all the right information before you make that move down to Albuquerque. But enough about me. Let's head onto the computer, do some Google Map tours, look at the MLS, and really take a deep dive into these different areas. Let's go. Alrighty, guys, had to throw on the glasses for this one here. We got to make sure that we can see all of this information, right? Because it's going to be a ton. So make sure that you're writing this down, and any questions that you may have, make sure to shoot me a text. And yeah, we love to make sure that you're getting all the right information when it comes to moving down here. But one of the areas that really pops out to me when we are discussing this here is going to be, first off the bat, it is going to be the South Valley. Now let's pop that in. Alrighty. Now, as far as you can see, right, the maps tells us that South Valley is such a huge area, and it really is, right? Down as a local, when we are looking at this area, it's going to be just pretty much all of this stretch right here, and let's just circle it out, right? It's going to be all of this here, right, when we are talking about the South Valley. So just to really paint the picture for you, the South Valley is one of the oldest settlements here in Albuquerque. This is kind of where Albuquerque originated. A lot of people like to think that Old Town was the origination of this, and that's kind of where like the landmark was placed for, hey, this is the beginning of Albuquerque. This is where Albuquerque started. But really down in the South Valley, if you do your history, this is where a lot of the early settlers really came to make their home, because it was super close to the river. So all that farming and agriculture that existed back in the day is still very alive. Believe it or not, you are going to find a ton of ranches, luxury style homes down there, and all that jazz, especially just because you're looking about an acre per parcel, which in turns allows for custom built homes. And a lot of people are starting to make their way down there. Back to the topic of conversation about affordability. When we are taking a look at houses here in the affordable sense, we are going to be looking more of the central location here. And still, you are going to be able to find some bigger pieces of land here. A lot of people who were buying and building homes back in the early 60s, 30s, and all that stuff still live within the area. Now, as far as you can see, we are going to see some pretty prominent areas right off of the bat. If you guys know anything about Albuquerque, you're going to know that the Barrelas neighborhood is a very distinct one, because it's close to the rail yards market, where they're going to have farmers markets like every weekend during the spring and the summer. Sometimes in the fall, as soon as it starts to get colder, they are really more of the holiday-based markets that you're seeing there. And then you are also going to see the Albuquerque Zoo and the biopark. And then you are also going to have all of this real grand access here. This is not a freeway. This is actually what we call bridge, and it turns into Avenida Cesar Chavez, but when you are living down here, you just know it is bridge all the way through. But coming back to the neighborhood, guys, you can see that there's a lot of green around here, right? You are going to have some houses that have just big plots of land still, like this guy right here, this guy right here, and all of these open available lots too that not a lot of people know about. So if you are thinking about purchasing a pretty affordable piece of land, you're gonna find one for under 150 grand here, and they are almost up to an acre or more. And then houses in this area go for under 250. So a lot of things that I like to point out here that you're gonna have as far as amenities go it's going to be the Wells Fargo's bank. I know a lot of people like to live close to the bank because they do a lot of transactions, want to make sure that they're depositing money, whatever the case is. And then you have Batter's Edge, which is going to be a hometown favorite. This is a batting cage that back in the day, this was pretty much the only thing to do outside of going to parks and hanging out and going to restaurants and stuff like that. But, you know, aside from being a local favorite, one place that I like to recommend to people when they are in the area, if they want to get an old school sense of kind of like a ice cream shop, is going to be this Dairy Queen here. This Dairy Queen isn't going to be your regular old Dairy Queen. It's set up more like a walk-up kind of like service thing. They do have a drive-through, but it's very old school. A lot of the features of when it was first built are still there, guys. But enough of this amenities and all that stuff. And if you are worried about like bigger shopping, hospitals and stuff like that, a Walmart and a Costco is going to be about 15 minutes away from you because of this easy freeway access that you are going to get on I-25. And then down here in the South Valley, the deep South Valley, you are going to have a Walmart. And then, of course, with this easy freeway access, you are going to be super close to the Presbyterian Hospital, which is kind of hidden here. But just so you guys know, it's going to be right here. So pretty cool map tour here. Let's hop right into the streets, see what we can see as far as houses and all that stuff goes, right? So let's just grab this little guy. All right, so we are going to be right next to Armijo Elementary School, and a lot of these homes here, they are going to have a lot of unique features because a lot of these houses were built by the residents that were first living here back in the day. A couple things that you can notice here is super big lots as far as you can see, guys, right? Take a look at this house here. You can tell that, man, this tin roof, these unique features, front porch, I mean, this is the essence of what the South Valley used to be, right? Ranches, farms, at scale, right? Not these big Yellowstone looking things, but at scale. This is what a normal ranch used to look like back in the day, right? You had your little house with enough land for your animals to be able to roam around and graze. So super cool to see this style of living, right? Pueblo style, of course, very, very popular in that area. And then again, you are going to have some custom homes down in this area, down in this neighborhood that people have built. So, right, big lots gives you an opportunity to build just like these guys did down the street. And this is a local business owner's house or compound. Like, check out this massive house, and you're going to find this throughout the South Valley from time to time, but gives you the idea that this area is starting to get a lot more attention and a lot more people are starting to move down there. But let's hop into the MLS, check out some homes, some prices, and some features that the homes in this area have to offer. Alrighty, now hopping onto the MLS and really taking a look at what there is to offer. Now there's a little over 13 homes in this area actually. So taking a look, let's hop right in and just pick out a home. Let's just hop right in and take a look at this house here that's listed at $265,000 and see what it has to offer. Now, right off the bat, right, 1,300 square feet, 2-bedroom, 2-bath, and that's going to be very popular in this area. So if you're not looking for a whole lot of space, you just want a house that's easy to maintain and keep up with, this is the areas that you're going to want to look into, because this is going to be one of the areas that you look into because the houses in this area have either been updated, and if they do require some updating and renovation, then it's going to be on the smaller scale versus rebuilding a whole house. Now, you may find some of those properties. I sold a house my first year real estate that was in shambles. The guy that I sold it to was a contractor. He rebuilt the thing from the ground up, which is pretty crazy. Super awesome to see. So if that's something within your plans, your wheelhouse, then you might want to consider moving down to the South Valley. But these lots are still pretty big, right? And people down here just have a lot of things, right? They make do of what they have with the area, you know, playgrounds, sheds, carports, you know, all that stuff. And whatever the case may be as far as what you're needing, this area is awesome because it's still going to offer, you know, some land and a pretty decent home at an affordable price. You guys see that, $265,000. And look at this house, right? It looks untouched. Couple things that may need some updating, like the kitchen cabinets, but everything else seems to go, right? Structurally sound. A lot of windows, man. I love the windows. Clamshell sink, very antique and vintage. I'm not a big fan, but if that's your style, then this house might be for you, right? Love the hardwood floors. Again, the clamshell sink, vintage TV. This looks like it may be like an apartment, right? You know, attached to the house again, right? Making do with the space. Big carport in the back, since a lot of these houses didn't have garages just because they weren't a thing, I guess. Believe it or not, they built sheds for all their stuff. Well, anything that extra that they had, they built shed garages. They didn't start incorporating those until later years. Cool little house here, a lot of unique features, you know, big driveway to pull in all the way towards the back. And if you are like my family, you are gonna love a house like this because you can just have the whole family over for carne asada on a weekend, enjoying the weather that we have down here. So let's hop into the next area, guys, and see what this next area has to offer. Next up on this list is going to be the Uptown and International District. A couple things that I like to point out to people when they are thinking about moving to this side is you're going to have everything pretty much at an arm's reach here, right? You are going to have shopping, entertainment, freeway access, convenience at its max here. And living in this area is going to bring a ton of value to you because it's not going to get super congested. There's not going to be a whole lot of traffic. Easy to navigate from one side of the city to the other through this side of town. And a couple things that I want to point out that you're going to be living next to when you are living in this area, right? You are going to have the Sprouts right next to you, the Trader Joe's, which I know a lot of people geek out over that there's a Trader Joe's in their neighborhood and there's only two in Albuquerque, this area being one of them. And a lot of people who I've been helping out have actually been looking into some of these areas up here in the Uptown and International District when it comes to affordability because of all this stuff that it has to offer, right? So you are also going to have a movie theater, shopping at Target, Uptown, the Coronado Center, the Windrock area, which it has the movie theater, but this Windrocks area is going to be an amazing area here in the next few years. They are rebuilding it, making it more of an outdoor shopping sense, kind of like the outlet style. And you are going to have like a Nordstrom Rack there, a TJ Maxx, and a few other places that are going to be good to visit. Now, you are going to have the fairgrounds, which during fairs, the state fair season, this area does get pretty busy. So keep that in mind that you are going to have traffic coming from the freeway here, traffic coming from Lomas on this end, and then again over on Central, just because everybody's trying to get into this area to be able to enjoy the state fair, which is a super popular thing to do here in the fall. So if you ever get a chance to, I highly recommend it. Funnel cakes are awesome. They got some cool little shopping things as well within the expo, and then the rodeo comes into town with them. So a lot of people like to go just for that aspect there. But and then also too, if you enjoy golfing, this is not considered like a golf neighborhood or anything like that, but the Los Altos golf course is just going to be super conveniently located next to you. That way you can, number one, live in an affordable area and still enjoy some luxury things, right? So a very balanced neighborhood. And what we're looking at it here, it's going to be a little suburby. The houses are going to be a little bit more stacked up against each other, but the homes in this area still have a decent amount of room. They're not going to be where you're passing over the salt and pepper to your neighbor through your kitchen window. So let's hop right into the streets. Take a look at what we have to offer here as far as, you know, some of the houses in this area, because they're going to be super unique. And of course, the number one design is going to be the Pueblo style house here. And, you know, they just start to change, right? Across the street, you are going to have more of like that super like classic home, one car garage, front little porch area that you can kind of, you know, come out and hang out at. Although there's, you know, a lot of one car garage homes in this area, you still are going to have the 2-car garage houses, right? And you can just see where the style of houses started to change. I could imagine that when Albuquerque was first, you know, starting out, this was one of the first like really like residential areas built, as far as, you know, offering different floor plans, giving people an opportunity to choose the style of house. So just really taking a look, right? It's all going to depend on the style of house that you're looking for. Some houses don't have garages, right? And they have to make do with what they have. And then again, some areas are going to have that 2-car garage, which is pretty spacey, believe it or not. I know it looks pretty small here, but when you go into some of these houses, they are going to have those bump outs, as far as you can see here. They give you that extra space when it comes to living in this area. But let's hop right into the MLS and check out some home prices and see what this area has to offer. Alrighty guys, now when we are talking about this area, again, not a whole lot of homes for sale, and it's for the simple fact that a lot of people that move here really don't leave because of all that convenience that is offered to them, right? With freeway access, Trader Joe's, Sprouts, shopping at the malls, you got the golf course. I mean, who would want to leave, right? So I was looking at the houses here and right, $275, but just to be transparent, some houses can get pretty pricey in this area and go close to over $500,000. So when we do go over this part in our video call, we will make sure to really hone in on price and really get after the details when we pull up this MLS search. But let's hop right back into this other house, see what it has to offer. As far as I can see, the house looks pretty modern. You know, it's not a super big lot, but it has, you know, the pitched roofs, that Southwest style, the very modern Southwest style with a 2-car garage. And when we are looking at the house inside, very modern updates, cozy living area, little open to the dining area to make sure that you're not alone while you're cooking in the kitchen, making it feel like you're secluded. I know my wife doesn't like that, and neither do I, because if I want to hang out in the couch while she's cooking, I want to make it very easy to be able to communicate, especially with the kiddos running around. It makes it a really family-friendly environment, and right, clean setup in the kitchen. Very starter home-like, right? And have a bunch of pantry area, big primary bedroom, updated floors, and again, right, although that this area, it has some older homes in it, you are going to be able to find some pretty decent houses priced under that $300,000 range. To be honest with you guys, that $300,000 range is even below our average price point here in Albuquerque. So very family-friendly houses in this area. Some houses you actually find to be multi-generational because, again, a lot of people that live there haven't left yet, and we're starting to see that turnover as far as people moving out and selling their houses to give an opportunity for somebody else to enjoy their home. But enough of this one here, guys. I'm gonna take a quick break. We're gonna go inside. It's getting a little cold in here, so here's a message from our sponsors. Alrighty guys, I wanted to hop in real quick just to interrupt the video, just to give my guy a break from doing all the Google Map tours, MLS tours, and everything else that is showing you on these maps. To remind you that, again, that number popping up on the screen is our direct line. We are licensed brokers. The team and I would love to hop in a quick video call with you guys to make sure that you're making all the right decisions if you are planning moving down here within the next 30, 60, or 90 days. So feel free to hit us up. So let's head back inside. I think my guy's ready for us to do more of these Google Map tours. Hopping right back into the search here, and yes, we took a little shower, we cleaned up, we're getting ready to head to some appointments for the rest of the day. So really being super intentional with this search here when we're looking at the next area, the Westgate Heights. So you can see it's a very popular area. We're always talking about this here, and there's a couple of things that you're going to want to pay attention because this area is super suburby. You're not going to find a whole lot of commercial buildings and all that kind of stuff here. There is going to be some conveniences laid out throughout some of the neighborhoods. Like, of course, like the O'Reillys, you got the Circle K. And if we zoom in just a little bit, you're going to see just a bit more of what they have to offer when it comes to convenience. Now, a couple of things that I want to point out that are, going to be super apparent when it's coming to this side of town. Now, we are going to be looking at more parks, more family-friendly areas, because when they were developing this side of town, they understood that it was just a bunch of sandy hills, and they really wanted to bring more value to the families that are living within this neighborhood, because this is considered one of Albuquerque's most affordable sides of town. So you are going to have Tower Park and Pond, Westgate Community Center, Tom Tenorio, and other little parks just kind of tucked in around these neighborhoods that allow for you to be able to enjoy your side of town, be outside, take the kiddos outside for a walk, take the dog out for a walk, whatever it is that you're wanting to do. And a lot of these neighborhoods are super walkable. We'll change up the map here just so we can take a look to see how walkable these areas are, because when we're talking like walkability and all that stuff, you can see that there's big main trails all along here that just connect this side of town very well. So all things considered, we talked about this area so much that I don't think we've really had an opportunity to really lay it down for you guys to really walk you through the exact areas that we're talking about here now. So I really think that it'll be valuable if we just drop our little guy somewhere around here and just kind of walk the neighborhoods to see if there's anywhere here in particular that we can kind of point out. And I always like to showcase, something a little bit more realistic. So we'll go down to the neighborhood that I grew up in, and Desert Springs is going to be a super cool neighborhood because of this park here. A lot of people come to this park to really enjoy the basketball courts, and they're constantly working on it, right? To always improve the neighborhood, bring more value to it, keep it nice and clean, right? You're going to have this large grass field, some basketball courts, and of course, a couple of things for the kiddos to enjoy. And when we're talking about this area and when we're driving through the neighborhoods, it's going to be super residential feel, kind of like that cookie cutter style house. Nothing really crazy going on, pretty average neighborhoods. It must be getting ready to be fall. A lot of these leaves are off of the tree. And then of course the season starts to change again. But really just taking a look at the neighborhood here, right? You are going to just have that basic cookie cutter residential style of living. And that's what the Southwest Heights or Westgate Heights, whatever you want to call it, has to offer. So let's hop into the MLS, take a look at some of the houses here, and see exactly what we're looking at that 300 or under 300 range. Taking a look at the MLS, and of course we got some filters here because we want to be super intentional with what we're showing you. We want to hit everything under $300,000 just to show you guys that there is still a ton of homes available, and we got just a little over 20 homes that we're going to be looking at here, and we're not going to go through each one. If you guys want me to set up a search like this for you guys, again, that number popping up on the screen is my direct line. We can get on a quick video call, and I actually do this in live time with you guys. That way we can really narrow down exactly what we're looking for. But for today's sake, we're going to be looking at just across the street from where we were just looking at in the map tour. We're going to be looking really close to the Tom Tenorio Park, and there is one particular home that really stuck out to me that I wanted to show you guys because of everything that has been done. Now, this guy here is listed right around $300,000. It's about 1,400 square feet. You are looking at a 3-bed, 2-bath house. Not saying that this home won't be on the market if you are planning on looking here within the next 30, 60, or 90 days. But if this home happens to disappear, this is something you can expect. So a lot of features right up outside that you kind of get. They took some care and really put forth in updating the house to showcase it best as possible, right? As we walk into the house, we can see that a lot of updates have been done. Flooring, fireplace. That actually might be an electric fireplace, which a lot of people have gotten creative with in the past couple of years and finding ways to integrate it to their houses. So pretty awesome, pretty cool, kind of like a man cave going on here, kind of like office space. Awesome spot to hang out in. Open kitchen, nice features here. What we're looking at right up at that budget that we've been talking about, $300,000 and under. This is what you can expect to find when you are looking in the Southwest Heights. Again, cookie cutter style neighborhoods, but where the people really put forth their effort in diversing their houses is the insides, and of course, with the landscaping and all that stuff. So, all right. Awesome landscaping done to the back of the house, ready to entertain. Got a nice big tree that'll provide a ton of shade in that summertime when it does get hot, guys. So just one of the examples here when it comes to the Southwest Heights. Really hope that the maps and the tours that we've been giving you through the MLS and Google have brought a ton of value to you guys. Let us know down in the comments what other areas you would like us to do. That way we can hop on a quick map tour or physically go out there and do a video for you guys. What an awesome video, guys, and I appreciate you if you stuck around this long to hang out with me and really go over all these different map tours, give you guys a deep dive into the MLS. I know you guys have enjoyed watching me walk through all these different backends that we're utilizing during our video calls to help out our clients. And again, if you are planning on moving down here in the near future, that number popping up on the screen is our direct line. I am the one that answers all the calls, texts, and emails. So we'd love to make sure that you're getting your real estate needs met when you move down to Albuquerque and the surrounding areas. But enough of me blabbering off. I think you guys got enough of me. I'm going to go enjoy the rest of my weekend. I hope you guys have a great week. Catch you later. Peace.